I got one of my properties back after Section 21 in, and it was a fucking mess. But what scares me is people think it's acceptable to live like that. But yeah, we need to go around now, make a list of all the problems, take some photographs, so we've got the evidence, and then we can basically get it all put back to how it should be. Hi guys, it's Monday. Welcome back to the Builder's Diary. Been a busy one this morning, so to the point where I'm only just picking up the camera at this time. So what I've been doing is just trying to get everything sorted. We've just got a massive backlog and I'm really struggling to clear it. So I'm desperate for some help, basically. I need someone to help me run through this. We're getting leads coming in now. I don't know where they're coming, well I do know where they're coming from, but they're just piling in, are you with me? So, and it's just a task in itself to go out and look at these leads and get them actually quoted for, let alone doing any admin or stuff like that. But it's just one of them things. Something I wanted to talk about, guys, is I put a Facebook post out last night about the state of the industry, really, the state of business in general with the government that we've got. I don't normally like talking about politics, but this year I've kind of got quite into it because it's affecting us so badly. Obviously, with the amount of taxation we've got, you know, and then added to that all the, you know, the building regs that have been updated over the last couple of years, the amount of stipulations we have to jump through for planning permission, it's all getting like ridiculous to the point where I'm seeing pretty much every other day a company around me or a company that I know of or one on Facebook go, you know, into insolvency, go bankrupt. There isn't going to be many companies left if we carry on at this rate. Now, a lot of it's to do with, you know, the stuff what I've just mentioned, but a lot of it's to do with the fact that a lot of these companies that are older, that have been around for generations, struggle to kind of adapt to the new things. So obviously one thing that we've had come in is the making tax digital. And it's just, yeah, it's difficult, but these companies have been around for years and they've got the experience, and all of a sudden they're just folding. They're going to end up with no building companies left. And one of the major issues we have in this industry is people coming into, you know, being construction companies, building companies that are just tradesmen, are you with me? And they really don't know how to price jobs. So they price it based on how they would get paid as a tradesman, are you with me? 150 a day, 200 a day, 250 a day, whatever. But they don't realise that they've got to account for their overheads, every cost that's involved with running that business, are you with me? So that kind of gets them caught out, but they don't realise till probably 12, 18 months down the line, till they come to do some profit and loss, pay the tax, do the year end, whatever. By then it's kind of too late. The company's made a loss. It's ate into their savings, and before you know it, that company's just going bump. But the problem is, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, or, you know, all the customers around them that have been served by that company have got used to that pricing structure. So it really kind of hurts us as good builders that are pricing correctly, because that's what they're expecting, so we come across as too expensive. So now back in the car, we are basically on our way up to Wimslow. We've got a refurb to look at. So this is one that's come to me via the via my networking property basically. It's a guy that lives over in Hong Kong. He's got a property in Wimslow and he wants to move back to the UK, but he wants the property refurbing first. So he's given me a big scope of works, and then he's also arranged for me to go and have a look at the property. His sister's going to let me in. So just nipping up there now, going to have a look at that, and then I think I'm going to try and measure the windows up as well for the Hanford job up in Wimslow. Try and kill two birds with one stone, hopefully, if I get a chance, and I'll forget the time really, because I need to be back. Just here in Wimslow now, just having a quick look. That's the property behind me. So basically just want a complete refurb, new windows, new kitchen, new bathrooms, painting, decorating throughout, and a few other little bits in there. Morning YouTubers, it's Tuesday and we are in the car because we're just basically off over to look at a job. I'm not quite sure what this one is it a garage conversion? Yeah, it's a garage conversion. So nice quick jobs, in and out. I like them because you don't really have to go into anyone's house, you can pretty much work from the front. But yeah, let's go up, have a look at this one. This afternoon we are going to look at an electric van. So something I've always pulled against, the old electric car thing. Just thought it was a big swizz that was sold to us, but I've seen a friend of mine basically take one into his fleet and reckons it's great. You know what I mean? It costs next to nothing to run. Really, you know, kind of, there's no like GPF and things like that to go wrong on them, which is what we're always seeing them in at the minute with vans. No wet belt, you know, all of those things. But obviously there is problems the other side with the fact that load it up, you don't get the mileage. So I'm going to have a look at one. I might just have one and use it myself. I don't know whether it's instead of this car or not, but you know, that'll be the quickest car change ever if so. But yeah, I'm going to have a look because I'm inquisitive, and kind of, even though I kind of don't agree with the electrical vehicle thing, I just kind of think we're kind of being forced into it. So sometimes it's just good to just, you know, have a look at it and don't be like, you know, ignorant towards it. So that's what I'm going to do. Ben's cracking away over at Baskerville Road, just trying to get all that tied up. They've had a massive tidy up. Just have a quick look at this video compared to what it, well, I didn't actually show you what it was because I was a bit embarrassed, but yeah, look at this. This is nice and tidy now.
There stop.
It's over to Baskerville Road job just while I'm passing. Literally come past the job, so just sort of nip on and have a quick look at what's going on. Come on boys.
Irish kind of less. Hey up, Rob.
All tidy, man.
That was that fucking soap back then. We'll get these lights up aloft. Irish summit. Oh, it's fucking cool.
How are you getting on?
Just dug that. Just dug the back off.
Can't tell Ben's sweating his bag off.
We just needed these, like, to pick these up off there.
Watch the boys do the boarding in there.
You have to take that whole wall off there?
Yeah.
Yeah, took the whole thing off because there was going to be, there's no frame left on the wall side.
Seen that video? I was looking a bit nitty. That don't look very health and safety conscious there, does it? It's a couple of bins with a trestle on. Come on, you know better than that. Got some mop-ups on the go. Have a look at that drainage. Oh, tanking slurry all the way round now. And then we'll have the polythene tanking over the top of that. So the polythene tanking and the slurry I don't normally like because you know, these terrace walls are the 9-inch brick walls and they're designed to breathe. Are you with me? Just said, are you with me again, Ant? I'm going to get the mic taken out of me so much. But yeah, they're designed to breathe and let air flow through with lime plasters and what have you. But we've had to replace the floor, so we put a DPM underneath that, and then we've got this rendering on the outside as well, which doesn't help. So we've had to concede basically and go with the tanking on just on that small room. Let's have a look at the drainage now. So we've got new manhole cover there, gullies in, soil stack ready to go up there to take that pipe. We've got one that's come through there, and then it all joins into the main drain down here, and then we've got to have another one there for the toilet that comes down here. So yeah, all looking a lot better. With this back wall here, the boys have had to take it all back to brick because, as you can see there, it runs into a window. And by the time they dabbed over some of the original plaster, and then the area where the chimney was taken down, it gave no reveal. So if you have a quick look here, that window's pretty much tight up to the wall. So by the time they put the plasterboard over the top of existing plaster, it was into the glass. Are you with me? So they've had to basically take all this back now, and then they've got boards here ready to basically just dry line that whole wall. So again, it's not something I like to do on these solid walls. It's normally should be a lime plaster, but it's just a case of if we do that on that wall, it's going to take it over that window reveal. Are you with me? What time we've built it up and what have you. So we're just doing the best of what we can and what we've got. Ideally, that window should have come out, built up, pillar, window back in, but we haven't got the budget for that kind of thing on this one. So yeah, Tom's up in the loft now, just clearing all the bits of rubble, bits of bodging and stuff that have fell when we did the roof, and he's also basically going to insulate up there, 250 mils worth of insulation up there, just to keep it nice and warm in these bedrooms.
So today, we've took the chimney down about a couple months ago, so just clearing all the shit, because it is filled with shit. So that chimney's been taken down there, the roof's been faulted, and it's just all the rubble all over the floor. Kieran's put his part work in. Nice.
So this one's now ready for skim. Just got to make sure that they get that waste in for the shower in there. That wall's now all boarded. We're just up there now, just insulating the loft. This one's all ready for Damo to come and skim as soon as he can get here, and he's finished the loft conversion over at Nutton Road. Same with this one, a few floorboards just need to go down there. So yeah, all looking a lot neater, a lot tidier, a lot more health and safety conscious in here than we were last week when I didn't really want to show you around. So all sorted now. Let's go and have a look at this next job. I had a good chat with the lads. Everything looks a lot better in there. I know it's still a long way off. Well, it isn't, to be honest. It looks deceiving, you know what I mean? That'll happen quite quickly now. Now it's all tidy. Now all those jobs that they started that weren't finished are being finished off. All the front's been tidied. The back's already been sorted. Drainage is in now. So it's looking a lot better. So lads are a lot happier as well, you know what I mean? They can see what they're doing. I said this to them, so don't you feel just like you're working in a more happy environment because the place is clean and tidy? So they're all happy now, yeah. And they're all quite excited for the future of the company as well, with us trying to build it up and where it's going to go. So just nipped over to Blurton Road. This is our next project. So there's an extension going just there at the side, double-storey extension. Just come to have a look, see if it's ready for us, have a chat with the customer, hopefully probably get this one started Monday. All good, spoke to the customer, he's happy now for us to start Monday, so we need to arrange a skip. Obviously if you look at their drive there, it's quite nice, so need to arrange some protection for the drive so we can drop the skip onto it. Last thing we want is a leg from a skip carrier to go straight through the drive, or you know what I mean, skip to actually leak onto the drive or wreck it or anything like that. So yeah, need to get that sorted. There's a couple of trailers and stuff like that in the way, but he says he's going to get them moved ready for Monday. And I've just noticed a mains cable on these properties. They're kind of prevalent on this kind of property, where they run the electricity cables across the back of the house and then kind of daisy chain over to the next house kind of thing all the way down. So, and then he's got a feed that runs down the side into the consumer unit. Obviously, we're building a side extension, so that's got to be moved, and it's not something that we can touch really, so we've got to speak to the electricity board. So just got back from looking at the van, had a test drive, proper impressed to be honest. Really good little thing, very cheap running, and I think I possibly might push the button on one, but that will mean that that's got to go already. So I'm just here now. I've nipped over to one of my properties. This is one of my first ever buy-to-let, well, it is my first ever buy-to-let that I did. We have Section 21, the residents that were in there, because yeah, well, I want to sell it basically. That was the main reason, but it was partly because they just weren't looking after the property. So I've just come now, I've got the key, I'm going to go and have a look round just to see what condition they've left it. Now if this is anything to go by, if you look there, that's been left there, and then the gates are missing, don't know where they are, so gates are gone. So let's go inside and have a look. I'm not sure if this is the right thing to do or not, because if it's an absolute tip, my reaction's not going to be good. Let's have a look. Oh God. So first things first, the smell. Jesus Christ. Now this is the reason why I let them go. The bathroom's above there, and I'll show you in a minute what they've been doing. Now they've attempted here to touch up with some kind of paint. That doesn't look very good, does it? They've done the same there, where they gouged a big hole in the plaster. That's one of the reasons, which is not, it doesn't even look like it's the same colour paint. Don't know what that is. Not quite sure what that is. There's keys. Apparently there's supposed to be another one of those there. It's not. It's gone missing. So let's have a look round. So something's been running on the bead there and it's going rusty. Oh my God, it's absolutely filthy. Coffee stains all down the skirting boards. Whatever's been dripping down the wall. The radiators look yellow. Obviously been smoking in here. But other than that, the front room doesn't look too bad. Quite a bit of junk in the garden that wasn't there when I gave it to them. This is the bit I'm dreading at looking at, the kitchen. Right, so initially, chip on the end of the worktop. Rust marks on the worktop. Absolutely filthy underneath there. So this is, yeah, not good at all. It's disgusting. Bits of food on the worktops. Someone stuck something on top of the window there. Oh, fridge stinks. Doesn't look like it's been cleaned. Yeah, sink's never been cleaned, my look of it neither. This is the reason I wanted them gone, because they're just not cleaning the property at all. It's disgusting in here. Let's look at this just on top. So they've been dripping water all down. Look, kitchen unit's all blown. Oh my God. Something's been going on inside there, not been reported. I've got water on the floor there, obviously dripping through the ceiling. Have a look upstairs. Rust mark on the carpet. What the hell? Some kind of huge crack in the plaster there. It's like someone's hit the handrail and pushed that. And yeah, filthy dirty. Again, I don't know if that's mould, surface, it's just moisture. It's just on the surface. That'll probably wipe off. Yeah. Oh my God, why hasn't any of this been reported? So we've got mould on the ceiling there. I have to open some of these windows and ventilate it. Yeah, loads of rubbish in the garden, look. This is the worst bit, the bathroom. So, I don't know what that is in the sink. Jar toothpaste by the look of it. Toilet seat. Wrecked. And this is the bit that absolutely wowed me. Look at the dirt across there. They've attempted to paint the window board, done it in emulsion. Someone's had a go at sealing that bath. I haven't left it like that. And it's caked. Look at the tiles. Black. That's what it's supposed to look like. Yeah, all things going to need decorating. Let's have a look at this bedroom. Oh my God. Why has this not been reported? So we've got mould on the ceiling as well. So all of this was addressed when we bought the property. Obviously there's an issue there, maybe something to do with the roof, but it's never been reported. Obviously we come and had a look on the 6-month walk round, but it was fine then, are you with me? So yeah, it's going to do some work now. We're going to have to basically get all of this decorated, get it put back to how it was and get it up for sale. So I thought I'd better show you a video, guys, of the actual property when it was handed over to the tenant. This is what it looked like, freshly refurbed. You can see here, did a quick walk round because I was absolutely chuffed with the place. It was my first ever buy to let. Have a look through here, brand new kitchen, no signs of any leaks. You know what I mean? The radiator didn't have polyfiller all over it from where they filled the door. That window was completely clear. The oven was absolutely spotless. Have a quick look at this picture of the oven, how they left it. Minging. And then the front room, the floor was brand new, so there was no chips in the floor like there is here in this photograph. Yes, it's not, you know, fancy, but it was nice, it was clean. You know what I mean? I'm very pleased with it, especially for one of my first ever ones. Brand new doors throughout, and if you look there, no staining in that corner whatsoever. All mould issues when we bought the property were addressed. To be honest, it wasn't that much. There was a problem with the bit of the guttering that was leaking that we went, you know, we got up on the roof and sorted. All of these doors brand new, fresh carpet, every room was replastered. Yeah, it was a tidy little house, you know, a nice little 3-bed house. No signs of any damp there, any surface mould. To be honest, 90% of that mould that you saw in the other video was from condensation, people in the property not ventilating properly. We actually went in after and it just wiped off with a bit of damp cloth. And as you can see here, this bathroom was stunning, brand new, freshly fitted bathroom. The silicone seal was perfect, nothing leaked, everything was tested. Yeah, it bewilders me how they left it how they did. What I'm going to have to do now is I'm going to have to go around, I'm going to have to photograph all of the issues, all of the bits that have been damaged, and then put a cost together on how much it's going to repair in order to basically, they won't be getting the deposit back, put it that way. So obviously it's got to go through the deposit scheme and what have you, but we've got plenty of proof here just to prove that they've absolutely not maintained the property whatsoever, to the fact that, I mean, just look at this, look at the... There's mould on the ceiling, and it's not, you know what I mean, it's not damp, that's like condensation, that's mould growing on top of the plaster. So, you know, there could be an issue because it's slightly raked there, could be an issue that there's a cold bridging because it's like straight onto the roof. Fucking hell, I can't speak. Straight onto the rafters basically, and then obviously you've got your tiles and your felt to the side of that. But, you know, it's generally produced by condensation. Every window in here is shut solid. Now, we've had trickle vents fitted to these windows so they can have them open and get some ventilation. But people get cold then, don't they? So they don't want to turn the heating on, so they shut everything up and seal it all up. But yeah, we need to go around now, make a list of all the problems, take some photographs, so we've got the evidence, and then we can basically get it all put back to how it should be. Morning guys, it's now Wednesday. So, as you will have seen, obviously I got one of my properties back after Section 21 and it was a fucking mess. They handed it back in a mess basically. And last night I put some of the pictures on Facebook just to see what other people thought, and it went absolutely ballistic. Not quite viral, but not far off, to the point where I've had to stop the comments because I'm fed up on my phone, just buzzing, turn notifications off and all sorts. But what scares me is the fact that some people think, regardless of how many inspections were done, how the property's been managed, whether any of the issues were reported or not, regardless of all of that, people think it's acceptable to live like that, basically, to keep a house like that. It's above anything else, it was filthy, it was dirty. Are you with me? People shouldn't live like that. There's you know what I mean, there's some kind of health risk there living like that. It was dirty. So, and it's not acceptable to treat someone else's property, someone else's, you know, whatever, like that. I wouldn't even treat my own stuff like that. Are you with me? Maybe I'm just different. Maybe I was, you know, brought up differently to respect things. You know what I mean? I was brought up to, we had nothing when I was a kid, you know what I mean? I come from a single mother, lived in a council house, and when I got something that I wanted, it meant that I'd worked for it or I'd waited a long time for it. So I respected the things I had. I looked after, I still do now. But regardless of that, I've had all of the, you know, you should have done 6 monthly checks, you should have done this. I did try and do 6 monthly checks, but we were constantly fobbed off with the fact that, you know, she works nights and she was constantly in bed and we couldn't get round there, or the only time we could go is like 10 o'clock at night, and it's like, that's not convenient for me. And the fact that it's dark, we can't see a lot of the issues when it's dark, you know, some of them might be outside. And in the end I had to say, Luke, I'm going to have to use the spare key and come round and do the inspection when you're out then. And I mean, give a notice, that's perfectly legal. I hope the phone's going again. Back to you in a minute. Sorry about that. The phone's constantly ringing at the minute. I'm getting messages left, right and centre as well because of the post that I put out on Facebook. But basically, you know, I was accused of all sorts. I've accused of not doing the inspections. I've been accused that there's obviously damp issues and I've not addressed them, which is absolute bollocks. The damp you can see isn't damp, it's mould growth due to the fact that the bath has been constantly leaking because they haven't reported whether the silicone seal's been damaged or whether it's broke down, and they've had to go at replacing it themselves and made an absolute mess, as you'll see in these pictures. And then obviously it wasn't working, the seal, so the water's going down the back of the bath and through the ceiling. Nothing's been reported until it was too late, and that's when I issued the Section 21 because I thought I'm just going to sell it. So I've acted perfectly legal, I've done everything above board, I've even tried to help her, and you know, this is the thanks I get, you know, and I'm generally taken aback to some of these comments. I'll try and pin some of the comments here now, maybe put screenshots of them up, that people genuinely think that it's the landlord's fault, that people who live in a property like this, how can it be my fault that people look after a property in that way? I'm not their babysitter. They pay me rent for my lovely clean property that I've spent a fortune on refurbing, and they don't look after it. So at the end of the day, I'm done with them, and it sent me over the edge. And I'm going to try and sell properties that I own, that I rent out, which is a shame because we've got a property in a place called Milton, and we've got model tenants in there. I went in and did the 6-month walkthrough. We did a boiler service while we were there as well, and the property looks like the day we handed it over. Really looked after. A bit of wear and tear, but I expect that. Are you with me? So, but yeah, this whole country is, in my opinion, is going to the dogs. There's no accountability. There's no respect for anything. You know what I mean? And there's definitely no respect for other people's property, and it's always, oh, it's not my house. So, yeah, this is the reasons. So, I'm sorry if you believe differently. Drop me a comment by all means, you know what I mean? But the people that were living in that house were just dirty. Anyway, less of that. This is a building vlog. So, but yeah, we're in here today. I'm just going through all of my accounts and getting everything up to date because I've got a meeting today with Chris and Alex. So I want everything, all the facts and figures to be up to date, so as I can give them true figures. So just doing that now. I've got the call at 3 o'clock. So let's get all of that on top of. I've got quite a few people I need to phone round to book appointments for leads that have come in. Yeah, I'll see you in a bit. Right guys, just literally waiting now for the call with Chris and Alex. So we've managed to get some stuff done this morning in this office. Had a bit of a cry about my buy to let, but no, seriously, honestly, it's proper deflated me. But yeah, I've had to basically go in depth into Xero, our accounting software, today because our balance sheet was showing £37,000 discrepancy in the... There's me alarm for my meeting. So yeah, it was showing a £37,000 discrepancy for CIS, and what I found out is my CIS deductions haven't been getting accounted for correctly. I don't know if it's an error on my part or whether it's my accountant's side, but obviously my accounts have been done for last year and it isn't including that, so it should have been checked really. But yeah, I've had to basically go through and sort all of that out, which has took me best part of a couple of hours to do that. So I've got all that up to date because I wanted to have every little tiny bit of information that I need to sit in this meeting with Chris and Alex. I want all the data that I can, you know, that's available to me in order to give them a true picture of where we are and what we're doing. Are you with me? Where the profit is, where the profit's been lost, what the accounts look like, what jobs were coming in, stuff like that. So, like I say, it just gives them a true picture because they can't help me if they don't know where help is needed. Are you with me? So, jump on this call now. I'll do that, and then it's basically jump upstairs, get a quick shower, and then be ready to go out to the PIN meeting where I'm sitting on the panel tonight again. This is the Stoke-on-Trent one. Last one was the Manchester one. So I'm apparently the expert in the room. So it's four or five people on a panel. Right, what a day. So obviously, as usual, the call with Chris and Alex ran over a bit longer than it should have done, which is good because I had a lot of questions. Are you with me? But yeah, and then obviously I was trying to get out the door and one of my lads turned up that works for me. He wanted to photocopy some documents for his mortgage, which is sound, you know what I mean? Don't begrudge him that at all, but I was just trying to get out the door. But we managed to do that. We've got him printed off for him. He's gone away a happy bunny, and I've literally just had to change my t-shirt, have a quick wash in the sink. And I'm now in the car and I'm on the way over to the PIN meeting, so where I'm on the panel tonight. So I'll see you there. Right, so I'm here now with James. He is the host of the Stoke PIN, and he's basically asked me here tonight to be on the panel. So do you want to just tell people all about the PIN and Stoke, James? Give us an idea what to expect when people turn up here.
Yeah, thanks, Rob. So we're here at the Hilton Garden Inn in Stoke. The PIN meeting is the second Wednesday of each month, and you might be able to hear in the background we've got the networking break going on at the moment. But every meeting we have a first speaker and then a second speaker as well, who's a longer presentation. So it helps to stay up to date with the information in the property industry, and you can also connect with people within the industry as well, just like Rob here.
Yeah, just like me. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to getting up here and trying to give people a bit of advice, you know, just in my field, obviously. I wouldn't want to give advice on something that I'm not an expert in, although some people would say you're never an expert, but, you know, kind of, we're always learning, aren't we?
That's it. There was a slide at Strategy Implementation Live over the weekend, actually, about experts and who put their hands up, and actually, to be classed as an expert, you need to have knowledge and experience.
Yeah.
So you're definitely an expert.
Yeah, we'll have a go anyway. But yeah, cheers for inviting me, mate. And if anyone wants to attend, I will put a link to James's Facebook page or something like that in the description below, and you can come along to the meeting.
Excellent. Thanks, Rob.
It's Thursday, so we're up and out this morning. Basically, we've got to go up to Wimslow. We've got some trusses coming from Marina Trusses. Lads are going to obviously offload. I'm just going to give them a bit of chuck because we need a couple of extra hands according to the delivery note. I've got the drawings and everything for them here, so just going to drop them off, check on the lads, just make sure everything's going well up there, and then get back, perhaps nip to Baskerville, check everything's going well up there, and then I've got some SAP calculations that I need to look at because I've seen an email last night discussing bloody solar panels, bloody heat recovery systems and all sorts on this new build. So problem you get with the SAP calc engineer is you just get carried away. They just want to do one calculation and have it passed first time rather than do a few to try and just get it passed at the cheapest for me building it rather than at the quickest for them, kind of just doing the calculations. So I'd rather spend an extra couple £100 and running a few more calculations and save thousands on things like PV panels and, you know, triple glazing and extra insulation, stuff like that. So it's absolutely ridiculous anyway. You know, the fact that the government have got this target of 1.5 million houses, yet they keep enforcing all of this absolute bullshit on us. You know what I mean? This new portal, and I say it's not new now, you know what I mean, it's a couple of years old, but it's just ridiculous. You know, the amount of hoops you have to jump through for a new house is crazy. And it's quite ambiguous, you know what I mean? There's not, your engineer has to sit and try and calculate it and make it work. There's no set rules, are you with me? You need this, you need this, you need this. So, yeah. But anyway, let's get up there and get back and get all that sorted. So we're now over in Wimslow, just on this job. Lads are here. Trusses are expected to turn up within the next hour. So there's plenty to do here. We were told by the bricklayer that everything was finished. It's not. The stuff build's still not been done. There's a window up there that's not been knocked through correctly. There's a doorway around there that's not been neatened up. Yeah, bit of a mess as well, planks everywhere. So Corey's now sorting it out there, he's just getting all that tidied up. But yeah, this one's now obviously, it's up to wall plate, all been built up there, so the roof can now go on this one and move forward with it, to get it watertight, get some windows in, get the electrician here, plumber here, get the first fix done, and just, yeah, plough on with it. Lads seem to know what they're doing over in Wimslow. Truss's arrived, the joists have arrived, all in one go. They've got their spec, they've just sent over all the window sizes so I can get them quoted for now. I've just literally sat down and I've done the building regulations approval for the new build over on Congleton Road, and I'm just in the middle of getting all the information over to the structural warranty provider so they can get us a quote on that. Also been working on utilities as well, so connections. We're trying to work out between me and the architect whether it's worthwhile actually staying with traditional gas boiler and then obviously having to pay for a gas connection, or whether we go down the route of heat source pump, but we need to make sure that the electricity supply is big enough for the demand, because obviously if you're putting everything on electric, heat source pump, you have to have an EV charger now for your car, you know what I mean, gas, instead of having a gas cooker and hob, it has to be electric. So yeah, so a lot of investigation that needs to be done there, and it's all to satisfy SAP calculations, so which is ridiculous in my opinion, but you know, we've kind of got to do it. So if they relaxed all of this, you know, SAP calculations because of the new portal, and then things like biodiversity, net gains, community infrastructure levy, which is, we haven't actually got that on this project, but you know, it does stop a lot of projects from happening because it's just so expensive. You know what I mean? Time you've added your community infrastructure levy on, your cost for that, and then you've paid for your credits for your net gains on your biodiversity, sometimes that renders projects as unviable and they don't get done. So that's why we're not getting the houses built that we need in this country, because they're just making it so difficult. And then if you add on to the top of that the planning system that we have to deal with, it's an absolute, pardon the French, fucking nightmare. But yeah, once you get all past all of that, I think building new houses is far easier than messing with old ones, because once you get out of the ground, it's plain sailing. So, right, let's get this bit done now. I need to grab myself a bit of dinner because I'm starving. And then there's a few bits I need to tie up for the lads on site. They all seem to be cracking on. Baskerville Road's now coming on nicely. It's all nice and tidy. I've put Josh and Tyler on there as well, just to give it a push until they go on to the new job, which is all organised for Monday morning. I've ordered the skip, ordered some plywood to protect the drive, and then set Josh and Tyler, you know, the task to basically get there Monday morning, start taking all the bits down that need to come down, and all this as we can get our ground workers there, dig the foundation, then they can get it built up to oversight. So I've basically just got to nip up to a tenant's property. This is another tenant, it's not the one that we've seen earlier that's left the place in a right mess, but basically I've just had a call yesterday from the tenant just say that they can't open the front door, so the lock's jammed. So I'm just going to bob over there and have a quick look, see what's what. It may be the case that I need to just get a locksmith out, but I'm just going to go have a look, see if I can just, you know, do something with it, or see if it's anything obvious. Are you with me? But these are model tenants. I've never heard anything off them until today, you know what I mean. We've done this the 6 month walk rounds with him, and the property looks in the same condition as it does when we handed it over, so really looking after it so far. but obviously let's have a look when we get there now. Gives me a chance to have a quick look round while I'm there as well, just to check on things, check that everything else is alright, and then obviously try and address this issue with the lock. So got here, this is one of our properties, it's that white one there, so you might recognise it from previous videos that we've done. So these have been obviously model tenants, we have had no bother off them, they've kept the place really neat and tidy. I've just been in, had a quick look, just everything's spot on. I can't fix the front door lock, I don't know what's up with it, the handle's jammed, it just won't move at all, so I don't want to take the lock apart and then we can't lock the door overnight. At the minute you can still use it by opening and closing it with the key. So I've spoke to a mate of mine who's a locksmith. He's going to come out and he's going to basically either take the lock away and rebuild it, or put a new lock in, depending on whatever it needs. So, but yeah, that's property, lovely little property. Some great numbers on that one. I think we bought that one for about, I think we paid 79,000 for that one. We did a 30k refurb, and then we had it refinanced at 135,000. So it wasn't quite all money out, but the area in which this is in, this is a place called Milton. It's a really nice area. Capital appreciation's amazing. So we were happy to leave a little bit in. But to be honest, we've had that place now about a year, just over a year. So all the money's now back out in rent. So it's been a great little property, great tenants, no hassle. Wish they were all like that. Right, let's get back to the office now. So I've just been grabbed the keys off John for this unit. Just want to have a quick look inside and just see if there's anything in the way of electricity connection. Because obviously if we take this on and use it for our building company as a unit and an office, first thing we're going to need is electricity. So I just want to have a quick look at it. It's a bit of a weird one because obviously it's like half residential and half industrial, so we've got these flats and stuff around here and what have you, and then you've got whatever that is, some kind of church or something, then you've just got a house dotted in between, and then you've got this unit here. So but it's absolutely humongous, you know what I mean, it goes right back all the way up to the end of there. So my idea is to put a big roller shutter door in here so we can drive straight in with the digger and what have you. And then as you can see, heat goes all the way back. Right the way back up to where these properties are up here. I don't know whether these properties here have got access, they seem to have gates. But there's a gate at the bottom that we've got a key to, and then that plot of land there behind, that's part of it as well. So that's the back garden, technically. So yeah, it's absolutely humongous. And then I've just popped inside. I'm just getting via this side door here. You might have to bear with me because it's a bit of a jump up. Look. So it's a big old unit. Obviously you can see that bit there. I think the bottom of that door is the roadside, and then we've got this bit where it just drops in as well. So quite big in there. You've got this, I don't know, it's almost like a pit. Be great for mending vehicles if you could get them up this way. But the one good thing about it is the whole of the roof's just been redone. So it's all been replaced in new timber, refelted and battened. It's got all brand new skylights in. But this thing just keeps going. So my idea is possibly split it up and rent some of it out. Just keeps going forever and ever. There's a roller shutter door there. And there's this little lean-to bit here, which has obviously got no roof on it at the minute. And then there's that rear part as well, which obviously wants clearing. So obviously that bit wants clearing, but it's land, isn't it? But yeah, it's absolutely humongous. My idea is to have the front part for storing the digger, maybe the pickup, acro props, or you know, scaffolding, all that kind of caper, and then perhaps have it sectioned at that pillar there. And then that bit is the office, and then I don't know what we do with, you know, kind of from there onwards. Maybe we section that off from that pillar there, across here to that pillar, and then we can have that separate roller shutter door, and we can rent that bit out separately. So, but I have just spotted there are signs of electricity. So I have just literally had a quick look in here. I've had to balance across this beam, but there is electricity, if I can show you very quickly. So there's an electric meter there. Obviously there's a pipe that goes all the way down into the floor. So yeah, there is signs of electricity. And then we've got sockets as well. So the sockets there, and a few others dotted round, so that's a good sign. So that means there has been electricity in here, so there must be some kind of connection somewhere. Hopefully it's not been cut off at the road, because that's where it gets expensive when you got to start digging. But yeah, it's absolutely humongous, and I haven't been in here for about 12 months, and it's still in the same nick it is now. It's lovely and dry. That's due to the roof being redone. So yeah, could be a good buy, this. So that's your lot for today, boys and girls. I am just about to jump on that computer to jump on the war rooms with Chris and Alex. Every time I say that, the war rooms, it makes me chuckle. But yeah, Zoom call basically. But yeah, we're going to jump on there. Got that from 8 till 9, and then I'm going to have a bath. I'm knackered. See you in a bit. Morning guys, it's Friday. So lads are all cracking on this morning. We've done the round robin of actually speaking to them all, making sure everything's okay, everything's on spec. They've got everything they need. I've got a couple lads picking up a few bits, ready to start a new job on Monday, just trying to anticipate what we need. Skip's ordered. Been in here this morning, I'm just trying to flick through emails, work out which ones are important and reply to them, and then the rest are just getting left today. Trying not to prioritise emails, to be honest, but I do feel if someone wants to get hold of me and it's important, they're going to call me rather than send me an email. And then just pricing jobs, but I'm suffering this morning. I don't know if any of you guys know, but a few years back when my old man passed away, you know, long story, I won't bore you with it now, but I started getting pains in my chest and pains around my body and just feeling like absolutely knackered when I hadn't really done too much. Are you with me? I went through the hospital system, ended up having MRI scans and everything. And what come back was, the doctor says we've ruled loads of things out, you know what I mean? Thought I had curvature on my spine at one point that was like helping, you know, aching my muscles, like posture and things like that. But they ruled that out with the MRI scan, and yeah, I had ECG tests for my heart and stuff like that. Everything was fine. And they come back with a diagnosis that they thought it was something called fibromyalgia, which is basically where when you get stressed, which in this game I get stressed a lot. Sometimes your body just starts to ache all over, and that's what I feel like this morning. I feel like I've been in a fight or something. I feel like I've been like hit hard with a bat or something all over, so just aching. It's hot, it's really horrible. Every now and then it comes, it's not all the time, every now and again, it's just when I'm really stressed. And obviously I've got quite a few difficult decisions at the minute. We're growing the company, that's why I've turned that screen off. I keep looking at that screen, seeing at the amount of lads that we've got and the amount that we've got to pay. You know what I mean? It's a big wage bill now, so we've got to make sure that we've got the amount of work that we need, which is obviously all up there on that whiteboard, and it's getting scary. But that's business growth, are you with me? So, but that stress takes its toll on my body with this diagnosis that I got. And they can't actually prove whether you've got it or whether you haven't, but it's like a really educated guess kind of thing, and there's no medication other than try and chill out, try and relax, that, you know, use things that relax you. But yeah, I haven't got time to relax. So, but yeah, that's my little story for this morning anyway. But I'm sure I'll be fine by this evening after I've been, you know, I'm spending the day in the office trying to tidy stuff up, get quotes done. But it affects your motivation as well. So, but yeah, we've got some serious decisions to make. You know, we're growing the company. We've got all of those lads that I've just mentioned. I'm taking this unit on, which is obviously going to be through a mate. You know, we've done a vendor finance. If you don't know what vendor finance is, drop me a comment. I'll explain below. On this unit, we're taking that on. So that's a, you know what I mean, a commitment to be able to pay that every month. And then we're looking at having one of these electric vans, because I just can't get it in my head that I should be in a car. 3 times this week I've been asked to drop stuff on site, or I've needed to get something in there that won't fit in the car, and I just think it's not right. It's not right for me at the moment. I'm not, you know, I'm off the tools, but I'm also still trying to be immersed with the lads, project manage them, go around the sites, drop things off if I need to. I do the occasional Saturday morning where I need to drive the digger or something like that. So I know you lot might think I'm backtracking, but that's what's going round in my head at the minute. Should I? Shouldn't I? Should I have? You know, should I get this van? Should I have it for myself? And then I worry if I hand it over to one of the lads, the vans are not really looked after that well. So if I have something that's on contract hire and it comes back knackered, that's going to cost me a fortune. So all of these things are what whir around in your head when you're running a business and when you're scaling a business. So that's why you get stressed, and that's why I'm suffering. So I've just rang round pretty much. Well, I think there was 9 leads that have come in via web form or email or whatever, but they've come into our CRM on the computer there. So I've just rung round them all just to try and book an appointment to go and look at, you know, whatever they've inquired about, whatever job it is. And out of 9 of them, 1 answered the phone. That's what you're up against. So obviously these people are interested in having some work done. They've either filled a form out or sent an email or sometimes called us. And then when we get back in touch to try and make an appointment, don't answer the phone. So that's what you're up against sometimes. But yeah, basically we give them 2 strikes and they're out. So we ring them, we leave them a message, might send them an email or a text message as well. And if they don't reply, we mark that on the CRM that we've already called them once, and then we'll try them again, maybe in, you know, 5 or 6 days or something. And if they don't answer again, they go into unqualified, unfortunately, because if they're not serious about getting the work done, what are they going to be like when it comes to paying and, you know, making decisions on the job and things like that? So not the kind of customer that they would want. So, bit of good news. Just met up with a mate of mine, Brett, who used to work for National Grid. He's just had a quick look at that connection. Little photograph of it here. Basically, it is live, so there's 3-phase there as well, which is pretty good. So, obviously, we've got no meter connection. There is a meter there, but it's not connected. All the fuses have been taken out. So, I'm hoping that we can get a meter connected and then just, you know, connect from there with sockets and stuff like that. So, but yeah, bit of positivity that there is actually electric in the building. So, and that's it for me today, guys. I am absolutely shattered. It's been one hell of a week. So, spent most of the day in here basically getting quotes done, answering emails, admin tasks. Obviously, I nipped out to see Brett earlier. You know, good news about the electricity supply there. I've sent a message over about the alleyway up the side of it as well, just to see who's got right of way up there, because there seems to be a gate at the bottom. Not sure if the residents the other side have got a key. But yeah, good day all round. Lads are cracking on. Just got some good videos from them. Here's one with all the joists now being replaced over at the Wimslow job. Just up there. Looking well, isn't it? So, but pity that we've had to replace all of those joists, and it's like, yeah, I don't know why they were cut out in the first place, but it is what it is. But yeah, that's me for this week, guys.